we're going to talk a little bit about half guard. Now, I am an old school Jiu Jitsu guy, right? I like the mount. I like side control. I like the back. I like scarf hold. And of course, I'll work the guard. But half guard is an intermediate position for me. I don't like it very much. But you end up getting stuck here a lot, right? So this is the guard position, right? He manages to start breaking, right? And I end up pushing through this, and I don't get all the way over, and he hooks my leg. That make sense? So now, most of the time, what I try to do in the half guard position is I just got to get this knee to that ground, and I win, right? So I hold his biceps down, I put my head on him, and I stack him up a little bit like this, and then I just drop it down, right? And he still has my ankle, but he doesn't have the knee. And I'm basically back in the mount. Let me show you something different. All right? He's here, right? Instead of me just trying to escape this, I'm going to use it, right? So I'm going to be here. I'm going to turn this way, lift, and look, there's my knee bar. Pretty cool?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's look at it from the guard position. The guard position, let's say that I'm breaking. Same move, by the way. I break, right? And then I go to move here, but I hook this leg. And I'm kind of in half guard, right? Right? Now all I got to do is sit on his belly, grab this, and there's the knee bar. So what we're thinking, or the change in my thought was, we're always looking at going forward because that's where we see. I don't like being here. I'm not going back. I could try to go back, but I want to go forward. I'm thinking, let's get into a better position forward. The interesting thing is, however you end up doing that, right? Half guard, knee bar. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Who thinks they can do that move? All right, now here's the key. One way works well, one way doesn't work very well. You might have to scramble, right? I break guard, couldn't I just do knee bar from here? Sure could. But instead, I fake to go to knee slice over. He forgets about this. He's now going to frame up and try to keep me from escaping his guard, right? Look at all this open space. I lift his leg with my knee. And I knee slice over here. And I got him. Right? That would have been cleaner, but I caught it up in his uniform and I ended up squishing his head.
What's the Jennifer?
Still good. Right? Knee slice to here, lift the leg, that gives me this. This is what I want. Right? Now, what else do I have? You look. Toe hold, right? I also have hip lock, right? If you can pull off heel hook, if you can pull off any of those leg manipulations, that move is pretty good. I want you to start in half guard, just like this. Lift his leg and see if you can find the knee bar. Work on your own. How many of you guys have gone to make single leg or double leg and you got sucked up into the guard? Happens all the time, right? If you're not careful, right? So let's say, for example, that I give him a shot to the head, I reach down here, I hit, and then he kind of pulls me in. I still have control of this leg, right? Again, all I got to do is push this down, and I'm kind of in this half guard-ish looking place. And he's going to want to get to the guard, or he's going to want to hip out and try to escape me, right? So we are in a pretty neat position, okay? So from this position, if I do this, I'm going for what?
Knee bar.
Knee bar.
Knee bar, right? If I do this, I'm going for what?
Toe hold.
Toe hold, right? If I do this, I'm going for what?
Heel hook.
I can either go for heel hook this way, or I can knee slice over and I have hip lock. So anyways, we're now in a neat position where this leg is fairly entrapped, okay? The problem is we get over-focused on this. We really want to get from here into some sort of choking position. At least I do. I'm an old school guy. This is what we always did. We moved forward, we attacked the head, and then once we got into a better position, started working for some sort of choke, he pushes up and gives me some sort of arm bar in most cases, right? And now I can make the arm bar, right? Step over and boom, there it is. So chokes set up arm locks. That's an important point to make. But from here, you don't always have to go forward. That's the lesson. Look around and see what you have, okay? Okay? I might just pass the guard here. And then he slides over into this one. You can do anything that you want if you see it in your mind. Guys, I can't be here for the next 100 years teaching. I'm not Yoda. I don't have 600 years, right? You're going to be the one teaching. Play with these things until you get it. Any questions on that?
No, sir.
Get back with your partner. Play with it a little bit more. Let's knock this thing out. And then we'll wrap. Making sense?
Sir, sir.
This is your laboratory. You're the scientist, so to speak. All you have to do is spend time working the human body. The arm only turns so far. The knee only extends so far. The ankle only turns out so far, and then you get a lock. The head only turns so far, and it locks. Make sense? It's a number of really great things you can find playing with the body, okay? If I show you something, you can remember it, that's good. But you should never stop with what I showed you. I wonder what else there is. Do the thing I showed you if it works. How many of you have saw me do a technique and you're like, I don't think I can do that? Raise your hand. How many of you thought, I practiced this, I still don't like it? Raise your hand. Happens all the time. But it's up to you now to say, well, what will work in this situation? Just because I can show you doesn't mean everyone can naturally do it. You got to practice and figure out the ones. I tell you that the arm bar, the Kimura lock, the Americana are the three most successful arm locks in martial arts. That doesn't mean that everybody can do them well. They're the most consistent because they're the basic ones. Kind of like the cross, the jab, and the hook, right? And the uppercut. This is the basic 4 punches in kickboxing. So the thing that we want to remember is what works. Body dynamics or body mechanics. Dynamics mean moving. Mechanics means the function. That's how we learn jiu-jitsu. You can't expect me to know exactly what my instructors knew because they got a lot of information they never even showed me. Or they created stuff after I was gone. Or they learned something from some other instructor after I was gone. How do I get that knowledge? It's my experiment now. You're no longer the research assistant, you are the researcher. Does that help?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Don't be afraid to try something. By the way, be honest, because I know all of us, hey, this is the way it is in America, right? Who thought, ooh, this might be dangerous, but I want to try it? Who saw something on YouTube and said, I don't know if I can do that, but I want to, I want to play with it. We are inquisitive by nature and we're willing to take risks. Do that. Be safe, but learn and learn well. Questions?